Welcome to the JayGravesReport College Football Weekly Wrap-Up, Week 10. Y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. Top 5 ball games of the weekend. Hey, going down the stretch in college football is the most exciting part of the game. Let me tell you, like I always say, the playoffs start in Week 1. The reason that the games are so exciting right now is because if you lose, you go to the crib. All right, let's start the first ball game. Number 16, Texas A&M goes to Mississippi State. Boys is out there shaking the cowbells all weekend, but Johnny Football went in there and beat the doors off of Mississippi State 38-13. Like I said before, Mississippi State is Mississippi State. Don't sit up and try to talk to me about why Mississippi State was the real deal because they were 7-0. They didn't play anybody, bruh. They hadn't played a real football team until they went to Tuscaloosa last week and got the doors blown off of them. And then they got the doors blown off of them this weekend by Johnny Football. Let's move to the next ball game. Number 24, Oklahoma State goes to Manhattan, Kansas, and gets 44 points put on them. Colin Klein and company did what they always do. Now, I will say this. It looks kind of bleak for Kansas State right now if Colin Klein can't go. He got hurt in this ball game. They've been real hush-hush about what the injury is. Look like he may have hurt his wrist. Some people were talking about a concussion. We don't know. But if Colin Klein can't play going forward, it's going to be dull for Kansas State. Now, let's move on to the next ball game. Number 23, Texas, goes to number 18, Texas Tech, and finally wins a ball game. I guess old Bevo went on ahead and put the horns on and made the trip down to Lubbock and told these boys, hey, look here, if I'm going to put the horns on, y'all better go out there and play some ball. So Texas comes out with a win. They must have figured out how to tackle or do something because, hey, it's getting bleak down in Austin. Boys not real happy with Mac Brown. They better get it together, so they won the ball game. Now, let's talk about the ball game that you really want to talk about. Number 4, Oregon, goes to number 17, USC, puts up 62 points on the board. But they gave up 51, bruh. Everybody keeps talking about, hey, Parliament Funkadelic put up 730 yards of offense. But, bruh, you gave up 51 points. That's a problem. That's a problem. Hey, I've been riding with the Parliament Funkadelic all year because I love the uniforms. I love the flavor that they play with. But down the stretch, you can't be giving up 50 points. 40 points, 30 points, because you got to remember, Alabama is looming. Notre Dame is looming. Teams like that play good defense is looming. You got to be able to score and hold boys from scoring crazy points. Now, let's get down to Death Valley. Number 1, Alabama, goes to number 5, LSU. What have I been saying all season long? Pull the tape. Because I've been saying it all year. Alabama's defensive secondary is dub. Dub. Now, we saw Zach Mettenberger play the game of his life. Played through the nose, put up 279 yards on Alabama's defensive secondary. Had them on the ropes. Played them well for 59 minutes and 9 seconds. T.J. Yeldon and A.J. McCann broke their heart on a screen pass. He goes 28 yards for a touchdown. Hey, when he went for the touchdown to take the lead, go up 21-17, I looked over at my boy. The pumpkin is about to show up right now. Zach Mettenberger can't handle the pressure. The wheels fell off that joint. You knew he wasn't going to be able to bring him down the field, and they looked dull in that last possession. Alabama is the real deal at the front 7. That defensive secondary is suspect. Only problem is there's nobody on their schedule that throws the football. I've been saying all year that the secondary was suspect. Tennessee was going to get them because they could throw the football, but they didn't have the talent to go head-to-head with them. LSU did. Zach Mettenberger, who couldn't throw the ball over his shoulder just 2 weeks ago, comes out there and looks like Joe Montana against them. I keep telling you, if they play somebody that can throw the football, they vulnerable. Now, this is a ball game I didn't preview, but we got to talk about it. Number 3, Notre Dame hosts Pitt at Notre Dame Stadium. Pitt came out there, played lights out. Now, was it Pitt playing lights out, or was Notre Dame sleeping? Did Notre Dame, because you got to remember, these boys 18 and 22-year-olds. They went to Norman, beat Oklahoma in Norman. Then they show up all week long. All the girls telling them how good they are. They reading the papers. Boys thinking, hey, it's all good. We can go out here and just roll our helmet out on the field and beat Pitt. Next thing you know, they was in a dogfight. Going into the fourth quarter, they down 20-6. But you can see it. Pitt started to panic. They riding down the street. The wheels start falling off. The lug nuts start coming off that joint. The windows burst. Hey, they panicked. Next thing you know, they tried to make a right turn and the wheels went left. That joint just fell off. All of a sudden, Notre Dame's back in the ball game. 20, knotted it up 20, and they go to overtime. Now, they still got a chance to win the ball game, but you got to remember, you playing at Notre Dame. The luck of the Irish. When Sierra Woods fumbled the football in the end zone, game should have been over. All Pitt had to do was line it up and kick the field goal. But like I say, they panicked. They don't know what to do because they never been in this situation, and it's a reason why boys playing ball at Pitt. They got out there, tried to kick the field goal. Touchdown Jesus standing there. He winked at my man, Brian Kelly, and did like this. Blew that joint to the right. They missed the field goal. It goes into 3 overtime. You knew they was done when they had to go to 3 overtime. Notre Dame come out there and wins the game. Hey, look here. I keep trying to tell you, college football is the best sport in the world just the way it is. Primarily because if you lose, you go to the crib. If Alabama had lost that ball game on Saturday, Notre Dame had lost that ball game on Saturday, national championship goes up in smoke. That's why it was so exciting. Hey, now, I have to say this one last thing, because everybody been on me. I've been talking about the SEC all year. I'm tired of hearing folks tell me how good the SEC is from top to bottom. Let's keep it real, or all the way 100, whichever comes first. There's 3 teams in the SEC that are the best teams in the country. Alabama, LSU, and Florida. There are 14 teams in that conference. Quit trying to tell me about top to bottom SEC when I'm sitting here looking for myself at Texas A&M sitting at 7-2, and they in this conference. Come on. Texas A&M is a perennial doormat in the Big 12. I know that they have a brand new coach in Kevin Sumlin. I know Kevin Sumlin personally. I went to college with him. He is a real deal coach, but he still got the same talent that they had last year. Now, how all of a sudden does Texas A&M show up in the SEC 7-2? The only 2 games they lost was to Florida and LSU. And they're going to mess around and lose to Alabama this weekend. They losing to the top 3 teams, like I told you, but they drilling everybody else. They've already beat Arkansas, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Auburn. Quit trying to tell me that the whole conference from top to bottom is solid when I'm watching Texas A&M, who Oklahoma and Texas been putting 70 points on every year since I can remember. Keep it up with your man. It's your man Jay Graves from the JayGravesReport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at JayGravesReport and holla at your boy.